you could describe your target audience?
That would range probably from 15 and up.
When you wrote your story, walk us through what that journey was like for you to actually relive all of those moments and memories.
Reading the timeline of events, it was pretty smooth. But then when I got into the intricate details of those events, that's when certain emotions hit me. So the pain, sorrow, um, happiness, certain points, um, confusion, um, uncertainty, to name a few.
What would you say caused you the most fear prior to releasing your book?
What caused me the most fear was the potential backlash of how people would perceive what I wrote. I was a little unsure of whether or not people were going to be okay with me being as transparent as I was in the story. I wanted to adequately tell my story without cheating myself. That's what I was apprehensive about.
So, how do you feel now that it's actually released, knowing how you felt prior to releasing it?
I feel relieved now. The work has been done. Uh, the groundwork has been laid. I'm not so concerned with the perception of the book anymore because I feel like by finishing the work and releasing the book, I was able to close a chapter and open up a brand new one filled with hope and one filled with motivation, motivation to push the overall message of my story, which is never give up, regardless of the trials and tribulations that you potentially face. Just keep fighting, keep God first, and you can overcome everything, every and anything. I believe that my story can help heal those that are struggling and those that have struggled as well. But my plans are my plans. So whatever God leads me to do from here on out, I will do. I have to be obedient because when you're disobedient, things will never go the right way.
So, just about every review that's written about your book talks about how it brings the reader through different emotional journeys. Phrases like a page turner, an easy read, have all come up. But inquiring minds want to know, will there be follow ups to this book? There are lots of questions about things that took place, and I'm sure your readers will love to know if there are any stories in particular that you may actually be willing to go more in depth about so they can learn more about you as a person and your journey.
Well, first off, I'm surprised that you've mentioned some of the quotables from some of my Amazon reviews. I mean, you've been lurking. But anyway, I appreciate that. As far as follow up or a follow up is concerned, I'm going to keep that as a surprise. I got some things in the chamber for you all. But before I get to that, I want to also mention that there is an audiobook version that I'm working on in an unorthodox manner. So essentially, I was going to record it on my own from beginning to end, but I'm going to have a child read it from my early childhood all the way up into middle school. Then I'm going to have a middle school child read it from the beginning of middle school toward the end of middle school. And then I'm going to take over from high school through college to adulthood. So hopefully when people are listening to it, it'll put them in a certain mindset where they feel like they can hear me as a child.
Last question, where can we find copies of your book?
All right, so you can find copies of my book on all major platforms: Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Books a Million, so on and so forth. All right, we have the audio version coming up soon. But right now we have the ebook, we have the paperback, and we have the hardcover. All right, so and also I keep hardcovers and paperbacks with me at all times. So if you see me in public, hey, and you need a book and you don't want to wait on delivery, which is probably 1 or 2 days if you have Amazon Prime, or it may take a week if you don't. Um, I keep them on deck. So if you want some and you see me in public, or you have my personal contact information, go ahead and give me a call or drop me a line.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.